Ladies and fictional men, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, hi, I'm Kit. Today's video is going to be my April reading wrap up. If you see me look down, that is because I have my laptop, my phone. My laptop has my table which has my ratings and stuff, and my phone has my reviews. I also have my dog in my room's review here. Weird noises, that is what it is. The book I'm currently reading at the moment is Freak's Law. Yeah, I pronounced that right. Freak's Law by Jane Flett, which is a horror book set in a Scottish town, and it follows a fun fair troupe. Best way to describe it. So I believe there was only one DNF in April, and I will get to it. So the first book I read was Butter by Asaka Yusuki, which I rated 3 out of 5 stars, not a new favourite, didn't make me cry. So the edition I read was a paperback. I think I have it in here, give me one. Yes, I do. I keep some of my books in my wardrobe. So this is the edition that I have. It's heavily annotated, well, except at the end. The last page I actually annotated was 388. I'm probably not going to keep the book. And that is... So, my edition of Butter was 452 words, and it is a thriller fiction. The next book I read, which actually was part of my YouTube video where I read library books, which was Manga Stories Scheherazade. I do apologise for mispronouncing that. And Sleep, which is a manga of 2 stories in one book by Haruki Murakami. When I went into this book, I knew there was some stuff about him which made him problematic. I didn't know what. I just saw the book and I was intrigued, and I was like, he's not getting any money from me, or I don't think any money from it, because I got it from the library. So I picked it up. I have now since learned what makes him problematic, and that is the way he talks / treats women in his stories. So I will not be picking up another book by him. Rate it 3 out of 5 stars. To be honest, I'm kind of glad it was a library book. Didn't make me cry, not my favourite. It was a hardback manga, and the genre is magical realism. And to be honest, out of the 2 stories, my favourite, not that it was my favourite, I preferred the second one, which is about a mum who has a very mundane life. And she just stops sleeping and it's just following her. The next book I read was The Last Girl by Umiko Jean, which I rated 4 out of 5 stars. Didn't make me cry, not a new favourite. This one was also a hardback and was a thriller. It was 299 pages. Also, the Murakami book was 158. For whatever reason, Notion is kind of bugging on my phone. So, my review for The Last Girl was... Whenever I start reading a book, I like to play a game with myself where I predict what I think the book will be, and after I finish the book, I like to see if I'm right. In this case, I was, as I thought I would rate this book 3 to 5 stars, and I ended up rating it 4.5. I did enjoy this book due to the fact it included a multitude of things I liked. One being it had multiple POVs. For example, it had the point of view of Chelsea, which was the story's police officer, and Ellie, the victim. The book also goes into both of their backgrounds, which I love, as I have this saying, which is, I'm a hoe for a backstory. The book also centred around a cult, as Ellie was kidnapped and forced into a cult. I find cults interesting, so whenever a show, film or book has one, I am immediately intrigued. However, I felt David, who was the leader and / the book's antagonist, I felt his motivations and his reasoning for doing all of this was very cliche, and that was because his mum left his dad and left him and his, I think, brother, and I believe there was a sister as well. Not 100% if there was actually a sister of David, but essentially left him and his brother with the dad, and for Mum went off and had a successful career without her boys. I felt his motives were very cliche, which was down to what I said. Also, for new names of the members, so once they got indoctrinated, is that the word, into the cult, they were very biblical, which I think is very common with cults, because I think a lot of cults are to do with religion, but I kind of found it cliche. I did predict that Lilia, Chelsea's sister, who's dead, or presumed dead, I'm not spoiling the book, that's what it says on it, was connected somehow, but I didn't predict exactly how she was. So the book after the next girl that I read was actually a comic, which is by DC. I wish I had my own copy because I like collecting comics, and that was Creature Commandos by David Dastmalchian. I do apologise for mispronouncing that. Rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Didn't make me cry. It's not a new favourite. I did thoroughly enjoy it though. It's a horror comic. I was intrigued because on the cover it had Frankenstein's monster, and obviously it's DC, which immediately got my attention. And it was 130 words. Also, I forgot to say, the last girl was 299. And the next book I read was also a thriller and was 306 pages. It was also a hardback. I didn't particularly enjoy this book. If you want to know my thoughts, watch my video where I read library books. And that was Tradwife by Saratoga Schaefer. Rated at 3 out of 5 stars, like I said, not a new favourite. Didn't make me cry. Next book is actually a new favourite. I have it up there. And it's the end of the What the River Knows duology by Isabel Ibanez. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's called Where the Library Hides. I'm looking it up there because it's literally right there. Rated 5 out of 5 stars. It's not a new favourite, and I'm pretty... Oh, is it a new favourite? No, it's not a new favourite, but it did make me cry. I did really enjoy it. It's not a new favourite, however, the duology is, if that makes sense. And I'm just gonna read you guys my review. Oh, my review is simply, this book made me laugh, squeal and cry. And then the next book was actually a DNF, and that was Before You Suffocate on Your Own Self by Danielle Evans. I honestly can't remember why I DNF'd it. I think it's purely because I couldn't get into it. Also, Where the Library Hides was 383 words. Also, there was a twist in it that I was not expecting. Actually, there was more than one twist in it. And I felt like it was a perfect way to end the duology. Everything got wrapped up in a cute little bow. The characters, which you learn to love, got a happy ending. And the last book I read, which I sadly returned to the library, which was Batman vs Robin by Mark Waid. 5 out of 5 stars. It is a new favourite. I loved it, and it also made me cry. It's a superhero comic, obviously, because it's Batman. It was 335 pages. I learned I could cry at comics. Like, I know I can cry at shows and films and books because I do it a lot. But comics, because they are typically short, I didn't know I could actually get attached to them enough to cry. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment down below what videos you want me to do, and also questions, and I'll happily do a Q&A video. Also give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in my next one.